Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines.
President Donald Trump has warned that Iran will pay a big price for targeting U.S. troops and infrastructure. Talking to reporters at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, Trump reiterated that Iran could never have a nuclear weapon and that the U.S. would prevent Tehran from obtaining one. Separately, he threatened to destroy an Iranian bridge or power plant every time Tehran attacks a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. In a social media post, Trump said the targets could include infrastructure in or near Tehran.
The US military has ended its latest strikes on Iran, marking the 11th consecutive night of attacks. US Central Command said the strikes targeted Iranian military centers, drone facilities, aircraft hangars, and logistics sites to reduce threats to shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. The US Central Command said in a statement that its assets also targeted Iranian maritime capabilities to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. It said the strikes lasted about 75 minutes late on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, Iran said it has carried out retaliatory drone strikes on U.S. bases in Jordan and Bahrain after another night of American attacks inside Iran. Tehran said it targeted facilities housing U.S. troops, equipment depots, and aircraft maintenance infrastructure. Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, has said that the Strait of Hormuz will never return to its pre-war conditions. He warned that if Iran is prevented from selling oil, no one will sell oil in the region. Ghalibaf also said no infrastructure would be safe if Iran's security was not ensured, and called for the removal of U.S. forces from the strait.
US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has told lawmakers that the US war in Iran has cost $37.5 billion, while urging Congress to approve more funding. He warned funding shortages could impact military readiness, while lawmakers criticized the administration over its handling of the war. Hegseth told lawmakers at a hearing in Washington that the $37.5 billion included certain aspects of the war, as well as anticipated costs through September 30th. The Pentagon says 18 US troops have been killed and about 430 injured since the conflict began, as Trump continues to threaten further strikes on Iran.
More ships have started changing course in the Red Sea after Yemen's Houthis warned vessels to avoid Saudi Arabian ports. 4 tankers altered their routes, while a vehicle carrier appeared to turn away from the Saudi port of Jeddah. The diversions came after the Houthis declared a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia, raising fresh concerns for global energy supplies and trade.
Pakistan has asked the United States for a $10 billion exchange stabilization facility, which, if approved, could provide a lifeline for the cash-strapped South Asian economy. In the request to US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Islamabad is seeking a bilateral exchange stabilization support facility between the US and the Pakistani government worth $10 billion, with maturity of up to 5 years. The facility, if agreed to, would bolster Pakistan's reserves, ease pressure on the rupee, and reduce its reliance on multilateral financing, even as Islamabad undertakes tighter fiscal and monetary policies in line with its International Monetary Fund program. France has approved a ban on social media access for children under 15, becoming the first European country to introduce a digital majority law aimed at protecting minors online. The legislation, passed by both the French Senate and National Assembly, will take effect from September 1st. Social media platforms will be required to verify users' ages, block new accounts for under 15s, and close existing accounts belonging to younger users within 4 months. France's decision follows Australia's under-16 social media ban, while the European Commission is also working on broader rules to regulate platforms and protect young users. Mayor Zohran Mamdani has admitted that New York City cannot independently enforce the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu without federal government support. Mamdani, who previously pledged to arrest Netanyahu if he visited the city over alleged war crimes, said his administration reviewed legal options but found that only the federal government has the authority to act on the warrant. He said in a video posted on social media media that his administration reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has appointed General Mikhailo Drapatyi as defense minister after a controversial government reshuffle raised concerns over the country's war strategy. The dismissal of tech-focused reformist Mikhailo Fedorov sparked fears that Ukraine's battlefield progress could slow. Zelenskyy replaced Oleksandr Syrsky, 60, with Drapatyi, 43, a respected and experienced commander who led the country's land forces from 2024 to 2025 and is described as a general of a new generation. India's Education Minister has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's administration was committed to addressing the concerns of protesting youth and exam reforms, in the latest sign that the government was beginning to respond to growing protests. The comments by Dharmendra Pradhan are his first since the youth-led Cockroach movement launched a protest in New Delhi last month, seeking his resignation over the leak of medical school test papers. He said the students of India deserve far better than being treated as props in a political campaign.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi on Wednesday during the ASEAN-led regional gathering as diplomats discussed Middle East tensions and the South China Sea. The two were expected to discuss a possible summit between President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping later this year. Neither Rubio nor Wang spoke to reporters before the meeting. The talks come amid a fragile US-China truce, which faces renewed strain over Trump's allegations of Chinese interference in US elections, claims Beijing has denied. Oil prices rose to near 6-week highs on Wednesday as escalating US-Iran hostilities and fresh threats to shipping routes fueled concerns over global energy supplies. Brent crude climbed 2% to $92.85 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate gained 2% to $86.01 after US strikes on Iranian targets and Iranian attacks on US facilities in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. Markets were also rattled after Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis threatened vessels carrying Saudi oil through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, raising fears of further disruptions to global crude shipments.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.